Good morning, children. Today we are going to study about basic concepts of chemistry and chemical calculations, part 2. I think all of you must have completed learning part 1 and you must have completed writing unit test. In this chapter, in this video, you will be learning about Avogadro number, molar volume, equivalent mass, empirical formula and molecular formula. Already you have studied in video 1 what is mole. Mole is nothing but amount of substance. In order to quantify atoms or molecules, we use the term called mole. 1 mole is equal to 6.022 into 10 power 23 entities. That may be 6.022 into 10 power 23 atoms, ions or molecules. Now we are going to define Avogadro number. The total number of entities present in 1 mole of any substance, which is equal to 6.022 in 10 power 23, is called as Avogadro number. The number 6.022 in 10 power 23 is called as Avogadro number. It is nothing but number of entities present in 1 mole of any substance. Then we need to define Avogadro hypothesis. This also you have studied already. Equal volumes of all gases under the same conditions of temperature and pressure contains equal number of molecules. And this Avogadro number has no unit. Define molar mass. Already you know how to calculate molecular mass. You will add all the atomic masses of the given molecule and you will find out molecular mass. Here, in order to find out molar mass, what is molar mass? Molar mass is nothing but mass of 1 mole of any substance. Molecular mass is mass of weight of one molecule. But molar mass is actually, it is defined as mass of 1 mole of any substance. Molecular mass of the compound is equal to sum of the relative atomic mass of the constituents expressed in gram per mole. I gave you the example of carbon dioxide, how to calculate molar mass, and molar mass of hydrogen is actually 1.008 gram per mole. For carbon dioxide, already you know how to calculate molecular weight. Same thing, molar mass of carbon dioxide will be for carbon it is 12, the atomic mass is 12, plus for 2 oxygen 2 into 16, so it is 44, which is called as a molecular mass. Now if it is expressed in gram per mole, we call it as, if it is calculated for 1 mole, we call it as molar mass. What is molar volume, or how will you define molar volume? Volume occupied by 1 mole of a substance in the gaseous state at a given temperature and pressure is called molar volume. If you consider any gas, say for example carbon dioxide, what is the value of 1 mole? 1 mole is equal to 44 grams. So 44 grams of carbon dioxide, gram per mole of carbon dioxide will occupy 1 molar volume. Same way if you take any gas, if you take 1 mole of any gas, it will occupy what is called as molar volume. So we should give the value of molar volume. Under various conditions, the volume occupied by gas will also vary in liter. For example, at STP, that is standard temperature and pressure, means 273 Kelvin and 1 bar pressure, the volume occupied by the gas will be 22.71. And at 273 Kelvin and 1 atmospheric pressure, we call it as SATP, the volume occupied will be 22.4 liters. At 298 Kelvin and 1 atmospheric pressure, that is at room temperature and pressure, the volume occupied by the gas will be 24.5 liters. So molar volume is nothing but volume occupied by 1 mole of any gas at the given temperature and pressure. According to the given temperature and pressure, the volume occupied by the gas varies as given in the table, which we call it as molar volume, and the values you must know to do any problem. How will you define equivalent mass or gram equivalent mass? Gram equivalent mass of an element or compound or ion is the mass that combines or displaces 1.008 grams of hydrogen or 8 grams of oxygen or 35.5 grams of chlorine. Mass of that compound which can combine with 1.008 grams of hydrogen or displaces 8 grams of oxygen or 35.5 grams of chlorine, which is called as gram equivalent mass. Here there is an example given how to calculate equivalent mass of zinc. Zinc reacts with sulfuric acid to give zinc sulfate and displaces hydrogen. So already I told you gram equivalent mass is nothing but mass of the substance that can liberate 1.008 grams of hydrogen. Now, 1 mole of zinc displaces actually how many moles of hydrogen? Here in right side also 1 mole of hydrogen is there. So 1 mole is nothing but 2 hydrogen atoms. So 2 into 1.008, it will be equal to 2.016 grams. That is 1 mole of zinc means its atomic weight is 65.38 grams. 65.38 grams of zinc will displace 2.016 grams of hydrogen. Therefore, for 1.008 grams of hydrogen, what will be the value? For 2.016, the amount of zinc used is 65.38. So, for displacing 1.008 grams of hydrogen, we should multiply by 1.008. 2.016 and 1.008 get cancelled for 2 times. So, 65.38 by 2 will give you 32.69, which is called as equivalent mass of zinc. If you express that in gram per equivalent, we call it as gram equivalent mass. We are learning about equivalent mass. Equivalent mass can be calculated using the formula molecular mass by equivalence factor. The equivalence factor for an acid is nothing but basicity. What is basicity of an acid? Basicity of an acid is nothing but number of ionizable H plus ions present in 1 mole of acid. For example, if you go for sulfuric acid, its formula is H2SO4. It contains 2 replaceable hydrogen ions. So the basicity of sulfuric acid is 2. The same way for carbonic acid and oxalic acid, they also have H2CO3 which has 2 hydrogen atoms, oxalic acid H2C2O4 which also has 2 hydrogen atoms. So the basicity is 2. But if you go for H3PO3 which is phosphorus acid, there the basicity we give it as 2. The reason is you can see the second picture in which one of the hydrogen atom is directly linked to phosphorus which cannot be replaced. The other 2 hydrogens which are attached to oxygen only can be replaced or ionized. So, ionizable hydrogen available in H3PO3 is only 2. So, the basicity of H3PO3 is 2. In the case of H3PO4, all 3 hydrogen atoms are not directly linked to phosphorus. Instead, they are linked to oxygen. So, those 3 hydrogens can be easily replaced. And so, for orthophosphoric acid, that is H3PO4, the basicity is 3. In the case of H4P2O7, there are 4 hydrogen atoms which can be replaced. So, the basicity of H4P2O7 is 4. In the case of boric acid, H3BO3, instead of giving out proton, it accepts one OH minus ion to form BOH 4 times minus. So, we call it as monobasic acid. Boric acid accepts only OH minus. So, we call it as monobasic acid. In the case of base, if you want to find out equivalent mass of base, as I told you, equivalent mass can be calculated using the formula molecular mass by equivalence factor. That equivalence factor for base is nothing but acidity of the base. Acidity of the base is nothing but number of ionizable hydroxyl ions present in 1 mole of acid. So, if we go for sodium hydroxide, there are 1 NaOH, there is only 1 OH which can be replaced. So, the acidity of sodium hydroxide is 1. If you go for aluminum hydroxide, there are 3 replaceable or ionizable hydroxyl ions. So, the acidity of aluminum hydroxide is 3. Already I told you that equivalent mass can be calculated using the formula molecular mass by equivalence factor. This equivalence factor for a redox reaction is nothing but number of moles of electrons gained or lost by 1 mole of the reagent during redox reaction. Number of moles of electrons either gained or lost by 1 mole of the reagent. For oxidation, oxidation involves loss of electron and reduction involves gain of electron. So, equivalence factor in redox reaction is nothing but number of moles of electrons gained or lost by 1 mole of reagent. Let us calculate equivalent mass of an acid, base and redox reaction or reactant which can undergo oxidation or reduction. Let us calculate equivalent mass. Now we are going to calculate the equivalent mass of sulfuric acid. sulfuric acid formula is H2SO4. It has got two replaceable or ionizable H plus ions. So the basicity of sulfuric acid is 2 equivalent per mole. How will you calculate molar mass? Already we know that we'll add all the atomic mass of the individual atoms and we'll find out the molar mass. Here also you are calculating the same way the molar mass. If it is expressed in gram per mole, we call it as molar mass. We have 2 hydrogen atoms, so 2 into 1 plus 1 sulfur. Atomic mass of sulfur is 32, so 1 into 32 plus there are 4 oxygen atoms, so 4 into 16. If you add all together, you will have 98 gram per mole. And what is the formula used to calculate gram equivalent mass? Already I told you, it is nothing but molar mass by equivalence factor. Molar mass is calculated as 98 and equivalence factor, you know, it is nothing but basicity. What is the basicity of sulfuric acid? It is 2. So 98 by 2, it is nothing but 49 gram per equivalence. Similarly, I am giving you one more question to calculate. You calculate the equivalent mass of H3PO4. Calculate the equivalent mass of H3PO4. We calculated the equivalent mass of sulfuric acid. Now let us calculate the equivalent mass of a base like KOH. Here how many replaceable hydroxyl ions are present? Yes, it is only 1. So acidity of KOH is 1 equivalence per mole. How will you calculate molar mass of KOH? There are 1 potassium ion, 1 oxygen atom and 1 hydrogen atom. So 1 into 39. 39 is the atomic mass of potassium. And 1 oxygen is 1 into 16 and 1 hydrogen 1 into 1. Add all those 3, you will have 56 gram per mole as the molar mass. How will you calculate gram equivalent mass? Gram equivalent mass is nothing but molar mass by equivalence factor. In the case of base, the equivalence factor is nothing but acidity. So molar mass by acidity will be nothing but 56 by 1, which is equal to 56 gram per equivalence. Now I am giving you one more example for you to do. Calculate the equivalent mass of CaOH twice, calcium hydroxide. Calculate the equivalent mass of calcium hydroxide. Now let us calculate equivalent mass of potassium permanganate. Here potassium permanganate is an oxidizing agent. What is the equivalence factor in the case of oxidizing agent or reducing agent? It is nothing but number of electrons lost or number of electrons gained. Here it is an oxidizing agent, so it will lose or gain electron. What will it do? What will it do? An oxidizing agent will undergo reduction. Be very careful. An oxidizing agent will undergo reduction. That means it will accept electron. Here potassium permanganate is an oxidizing agent, so it will undergo reductions by accepting electron. We know that equivalent mass is nothing but molar mass by equivalence factor. What is how will you calculate molar mass of potassium permanganate? We'll add all the atomic mass, we'll get the molar mass. Here also we are adding for 1 potassium, 1 manganese and 4 oxygen. The value comes to be 158 gram per mole. Now, what is how many number of electrons are lost or gained? That can be seen through the example. Potassium permanganate is reduced during oxidation. Manganate is KMnO4, you remove that K plus, you have MnO4 minus. It will react with, in the acid medium only this reaction occurs. So it is getting converted to Mn2 plus. Here in KMnO4, manganese in plus 7 oxidation state, now it is turned to Mn2 plus. So how many electrons are involved? Plus 7 to plus 5. Yes, it gained MnO4 minus gained 5 electrons to become Mn2 plus. That means here the equivalence factor N value is 5. So the equivalent mass is nothing but molar mass, which is 158 divided by equivalence factor, which is 5. Totally when you divide, you will get 31.6 gram per equivalence as the equivalent mass of KMnO4. Let us calculate the equivalent mass of ferrous sulfate. Ferrous sulfate reacts with potassium permanganate in the presence of an acid, which can get oxidized to ferric sulfate. Fe2 plus is converted to Fe3 plus using potassium permanganate. Now instead of using any other factor, we are using only number of moles. Here you see how many number of moles of potassium permanganate are reacting. In left side, 2 potassium permanganate, 2 KMnO4 are used. 2 into what is the molecular mass of potassium permanganate? Already we have seen it is 158. So 2 into 158 will be equal to 316 grams. That is 2 moles of potassium permanganate means 316 grams of potassium permanganate reacts with how many moles of ferrous sulfate? You see the coefficient of ferrous sulfate FeSO4? Yes, it is 10. So 10 moles of ferrous sulfate. The anhydrous ferrous sulfate has no water molecule, so its molecular mass is 152. So 10 into 152 is 1520 grams. Already we know the equivalent mass of potassium permanganate to be 31.6 grams. So if 316 grams of potassium permanganate reacts with 1520 grams of ferrous sulfate, then for 31.6 grams, you will have 1520 by 316 into 31.6, which will be equal to 152 gram per gram of ferrous sulfate. So that is the equivalent mass of ferrous sulfate, gram per equivalence. If you want to calculate the equivalent mass of salt like calcium carbonate, we should use the formula equivalent mass is equal to molecular weight by total charge on the positive ion. Here in this case, the calcium ion carries a +2 oxidation state, or the positive charge is +2. Total charge on calcium ion is +2. Now you know how to calculate molecular weight. The atomic mass of calcium is 40, 1 carbon is 12, 3 oxygen, 3 into 16. So totally it is 100 divided by total charge on the positive ion, that is Ca2+. So we have to divide it by 2. So 100 by 2 will be equal to 50. I have given you one more example for you to calculate. Calculate the equivalent mass of K2SO4 NH4 twice SO4 24H2O. In this case, how many positive ions are there? 2 potassium ion and 2 ammonium ion, 2 sulfate ions, and water is neutral. So the total positive ions here is +4. For total positive charge is +4. Now you can calculate equivalent mass by adding all the atomic masses. You divide it by 4, you will get the equivalent mass. Here are the formulas used to calculate equivalent mass. If hydrogen mass is given, then you need to use the formula mass of metal by mass of hydrogen is equal to equivalent weight of metal by equivalent weight of hydrogen. But equivalent weight of hydrogen is 1. So you can directly find out equivalent weight of metal by dividing mass of the metal by mass of hydrogen. Mass of metal by mass of hydrogen will give you equivalent mass of metal. If chlorine mass is given, then mass of the metal by mass of chlorine will be equal to equivalent mass of metal by 35.5. So if you want to find out equivalent mass of the metal, then you take the mass of metal, you divide it by mass of chlorine, you multiply it by 35.5. A problem is given in evaluate yourself question in your textbook. Try that. And if you want to find out using oxide method, that is if oxygen mass is given, then the formula used is mass of metal by mass of oxygen is equal to equivalent weight of metal by equivalent weight of oxygen, and the equivalent weight of oxygen will replace it by 8, that is it is 8. So equivalent of weight of metal by 8. So mass of equivalent weight of metal can be calculated using the formula mass of metal by mass of oxygen into 8. In order to find out the formula of a compound, first of all we must know the purity of the compound. If we are analyzing any compound, we need to know the purity. For that we need to know the percentage composition of each element present in that compound. How will you find out percentage of mass of an element? The formula used to calculate percentage mass of the element is mass of the element by molar mass into 100. Mass of the element by molar mass into 100. Let us calculate for calcium carbonate. The percentage mass of calcium will be equal to mass of the element by molar mass. What is the mass of calcium? You know its atomic mass is 40. So 40 divided by molecular mass of calcium carbonate, you can calculate using all the atomic weights. You add, it will come to be 100. So 40 by 100 should be multiplied by 100 to get the percentage. That will be equal to 40%. Again I gave you one more example to calculate the percentage of sulfur in sulfuric acid. Okay, so mass percentage is nothing but mass of the element by molar mass of the compound. So there are two different types of formulas possible for a molecule. One is called empirical formula, another one is called molecular formula. Molecular formula is the exact formula of the molecule, but empirical formula is the simplest formula. It is actually a ratio of different atoms present in one molecule. It gives the simplest ratio of the different number of atoms present in the molecule. But empirical formula is the formula written with the actual number of different atoms present in one molecule as a subscript. Empirical formula is only a simplest ratio, but molecular formula will give you the actual number of different atoms present in one molecule. For example, you can convert empirical formula into molecular formula or molecular formula into empirical formula. If the molecular formula of glucose is C6H12O6, what is the ratio of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen? It is 1:2:1. So if you divide it by 6, what will be the empirical formula? Common factor is 6. So if you divide, you will get CH2O as the empirical formula. And the same way C2H4O2. That is, if you take acetic acid, CH3COOH. There C2H4O2 is the molecular formula. Here also the ratio is 1:2:1. So if you divide it by 2, all the 3 elements, you will have the empirical formula CH2O. We know what is molar mass. We'll add all the sum of atomic masses, you will get molar mass. What is empirical formula mass? If you take the empirical formula, which is the simplest formula, add the atomic mass of all the atoms present in empirical formula, you will get empirical formula mass. Empirical formula is the simplest formula. For example, CH2O. You add all the atomic masses of the elements in the empirical formula. What you get is empirical formula mass. And what is the relationship between this empirical formula and molecular formula mass? Molecular formula is nothing but empirical formula into n. This n is an integer. If you want to find out that n, you have to divide molecular formula mass by empirical formula mass. To arrive at empirical formula from the elemental analysis data, the steps followed are: first we must write the elements present. For example, what are the elements present, like carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, all these things you must write. Before we proceed, they would have given you percentage composition. Add all the percentage composition. If the percentage composition is equal to 100, that means oxygen is already given or oxygen is not present. If the value is less than 100, that means you subtract from 100, that will give you the percentage of oxygen. Even that you have to consider. Okay. So if you want to find out percentage of oxygen, you subtract the given percentage from 100. You will get the percentage of oxygen. Okay. First we must write the elements present in sequence. Then we must write in the second column, we must write the percentage composition of each element. Third column, you should write the atomic mass. For carbon it is 12, for hydrogen it is 1.008, for oxygen it is 16. Then the fourth column, we must calculate the relative atomic mass. Relative atomic mass is calculated using the formula percentage composition by atomic mass. That is 2 divided by 3. Second column by third column. Then you will arrive at a simple ratio, which is actually some fraction. That simple ratio can be converted into whole number. From the whole number, you will arrive at the empirical formula. Here I have given you an example to calculate the empirical formula. An organic compound present in vinegar has 40% carbon, 6.6% hydrogen and 53.4% oxygen. Find the empirical formula of the compound. Already I told you, first we must write the elements. What are the elements present? Carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. Then second column we must write percentage. What is the percentage of carbon? It is 40. Hydrogen 6.6 and that of oxygen is 53.4. Third column we must write the atomic mass. What is the atomic mass of high carbon? 12. Hydrogen 1. Oxygen 16. Now how will you calculate relative number of moles? We should divide percentage by atomic mass. Percentage of carbon is 40 divided by 12. percentage of hydrogen is 6.6 divided by 2, 1. And oxygen is 53.4 divided by 16. You will get 40 by 12 as 3.3 and 60.6 by 1 as 6.6, 53.4 by 16 as 3.3. Among these three values, 3.3 is the simplest value. So you have to divide all the relative number of moles by the 3.3. So 3.3 by 3.3 it is 1. Second value is 6.6 by 3.3 it is 2. 3.3 by 3.3 is 1. Now relative ratio of our whole number is 1, 2 and 1. That means carbon number is 1, hydrogen is present twice and oxygen is present one time. So the empirical formula will be C1H2O1, nothing but CH2O. Here again another example is given, but here we are going to calculate the molecular formula. Two organic compounds, one is present in vinegar. You know vinegar contains what acid? Acetic acid, very good. And another one present in sour milk. Sour milk contains lactic acid, very good. And molecular mass of vinegar is given as there is one present. The organic compound present in vinegar has molecular mass 60 grams, and that present in sour milk has 90 gram per mole. They have the same mass percentage composition of 40 carbon, 6.6% hydrogen and 53.4% oxygen. Find the molecular formula. Now using this percentage composition, already we have arrived at the empirical formula, the previous problem, that is CH2O. That is the empirical formula we calculated. Now what are we supposed to calculate? We are supposed to find out molecular mass. For that we have to find out N value. N value is nothing but molecular mass by empirical formula mass. First calculate the empirical formula mass. Empirical formula is CH2O. Calculate the empirical formula mass. 12 plus 2 into 1 plus 16 will be equal to 30 gram per mole. Now we calculated empirical formula mass. We are supposed to find out the molecular formula. Formula for the compound present in vinegar, first we'll calculate. N value is nothing but molecular formula mass by empirical formula mass. Already they have given you that the molecular formula mass for the compound present in vinegar is 60. Already we calculated the empirical formula mass as 30. So 60 by 30 will be equal to 2. Molecular formula will be equal to empirical formula into N. Here the empirical formula is CH2O, N value is 2. So CH2O into 2, it is C2H4O2, which is nothing but acetic acid. Same way, calculation of molecular formula for the compound present in sour milk. They have given you the molar mass of the compound present in sour milk as 90. So divided by empirical formula mass calculated as 30. 90 by 30 will give you 3. Now molecular formula is nothing but empirical formula into N. So empirical formula is CH3O. CH2O, you multiply by 3. You have C3H6O3, which is nothing but lactic acid. How will you calculate number of moles? Number of moles is calculated using the formula mass by molecular mass or mass by molar mass. Here they have asked you to calculate number of moles present in 9 grams of ethane. So mass is given as 9 grams. We have to find out molecular mass. For ethane the formula is C2H6 and you know how to find out molar mass. Calculate the molar mass, it comes to be 36. So number of moles is mass by molar mass or 9 by 30, which is equal to 0.3 moles. Same way they have given you volume and you are supposed to find out number of molecules. Calculate the number of molecules of oxygen gas that occupies a volume of 224 ml at 273 Kelvin and 3 atmospheric pressure. We know that 273 Kelvin and 1 atmospheric pressure, 1 mole of any gas occupies 22.4 liters. Do you remember a table I gave? 273 Kelvin and 1 atmospheric pressure is the volume occupied by the gas will be 22.4 liters. Therefore, number of moles of oxygen that occupies a volume of 224 ml and 273 Kelvin and 3 atmospheric pressure will be, you have to take this value, that is 273, 1 atmosphere and 22.4 liters will be occupied by 1 mole. Then you multiply it by 0.224 liter. They have given it in milliliter, so we convert it into liter. By dividing it by 1000, it is 0.224 liter into 273 into 3. So 273 gets cancelled. 22.4 and 224 can be simplified, and when you simplify you will get 0.03 mole. 1 mole of oxygen contains, Avogadro number of molecules, that is 6.022 in 10 power 23 molecules. Therefore, for 0.03 moles of oxygen contains, you multiply this Avogadro number with 0.03, you will get 1.802 into 10 power 22 molecules of oxygen. Here is the unit test for around 25 marks. What do you understand by the term mole? Define equivalent mass. 0.456 grams of metal gives 0.606 grams of chloride. Calculate this equivalent mass of the metal. I told you chloride method, use that formula to calculate the equivalent mass. Then they have given you molecular mass of fructose and caffeine. They are asking you to find out empirical formula. Just find out the ratio and divide. What is the difference between molecular mass and molar mass? Calculate the molecular mass and molar mass of carbon dioxide. And for 6th question, 7th question and 8th question, actually you have to find out empirical formula and molecular formula. So complete it and see that you understand the concept well. So third part of video will be given to you very soon. Complete the unit test of video 1 and video 2 for clear understanding. For more videos, please like, share and subscribe.